And welcome back, rugby fans, to Rugby411. As always, I'm your host. My name is Joshua Shibata, and this video is previewing the USA versus French Barbarians. Not a test match, but an exhibition match going on Friday, so tomorrow, July 1st, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time kickoff. You can watch the game on FloRugby. This is a warm-up match for Team USA, the Eagles, the national rugby team, right before they are going to play against Chile in the Rugby World Cup qualifiers. We'll go more into details on that in the next week, but this is a nice little warm-up match for Team USA to kind of shake the cobwebs off a little bit. A lot of players have just finished with international play as well as Major League Rugby, but they haven't really been playing as a team since last season. I think the last game was against New Zealand, so yeah, that was basically last year. So this is a good chance for them to get ready for a very, very crucial series of games against Chile. So, first and foremost, you might be asking, what are the French Barbarians? It's not the French national team, it's the French Barbarians. Well, the French Barbarians, first of all, the Barbarians is actually a recognized rugby team called the Barbarians. Originally they were called the Nomads. And if you want to think of it as a team where you can only join by invite. You have to be invited, and it's kind of like a team of mercenaries. You just gather a bunch of talented rugby players and you put them together as a team. The original concept of the Barbarians was invented by William Percy Carpenter, who played for Cambridge University way back in 1884. And basically what it was just a chance for a lot of players to kind of play after the rugby season ended, give them something to do, a little bit of spending money, and they would tour around Europe. And that tradition of, again, it was invite only. William invited a bunch of players that he thought would work on this team, and that tradition of only being invited to play for the Barbarians has continued for now almost over 150 years. It's pretty impressive. Now, the Barbarians, the original Barbarians, the Barbarians Football Club, is not just British players. Over 31 countries have had players represented in the Barbarians, including some Americans. And again, this is now the French Barbarians, which is not to be confused with the original Barbarians, but this is the Barbarian Rugby Club, or the French Barbarians. The concept is the same. This one was started in 1979 by Jean-Claude Scrella, who actually played for the original Barbarians. He decided to take this concept and make it into a French team. Again, invite only. Is not specifically only for French players. You can be invited to play, like for the team that's coming here, there's an Argentinian player, but you've had to have had play or currently played for a French club team. So it is still kind of French inclusive, but again, it's basically like a French all-star team that's coming over to play against America. It's the first time that the French Barbarians have ever come to America. This will be a very, very interesting game, to say the least. This isn't a team of French players that were not necessarily good enough to be on the national French team. You have a bunch of really experienced players who have played for the French national team, and then you have a mix of a bunch of young players who could potentially make the French team. This would be their chance to kind of showcase their skills on a larger level. Some of the players, I'm going to pull up the roster right now. Some of the players to spotlight, Clement Maynaner, he's the hooker. He's been playing for Bordeaux Bagels. He has 8 caps for the French national team. Arthur Jolly, a prop, veteran player, has been playing in Top 14, which is the French Pro League, for years now. Romain Sazy, who has played 210 games for La Rochelle. La Rochelle just recently won the European Rugby Cup, for those of you who follow European rugby. So not a bad team to be playing for right now. Luis Picamos is a flanker. Long career, played 7 years for Toulouse, a very strong French team. Recently, he's played for Bordeaux Bagels. 82 caps for the French national team, so a lot of experience with this veteran. And then, of course, another name that a lot of French rugby fans and international players would recognize, Francis Trinduc, who is the first Vietnamese French player to play for the French national team. 66 caps for France. He is their French fly half. Samuel Marquez is an Portugal player who is now playing for the French Barbarians as well. Some of the youngsters to kind of look at, fly half Louis Forsans Bordet plays for Montpellier. He made his name for the French under-20 squad. Lots of people predicting he will eventually make the French national team. And Adrien Lepec, I think I'm pronouncing that name correctly, plays for Stade France. 23 years old, another prospect that a lot of people are very high on. So, again, not a team to be pushed over, but a team of a good mix of veteran players as well as some young players that are going to probably try to do their best in this game just to, again, get some attention to play for that French national team. Now, let's move over to Team USA, the Eagles. Bam! And here's their roster that was just made announced. Gary Gold is our coach. The top 15 will go down by list by list. David Ayenu, who plays for Toulouse, so he actually has a lot of experience with some of these French players. He's coming in. Capelli Pifaletti, our hooker, also has experience in Europe. Plays for the Saracens team in England. Number 3 spot, the other prop, Paul Mullins, plays for the Utah Warriors. Your locks, Nick Savetta, who of course plays for Rugby New York. Greg Peterson, who plays over in Europe for the Newcastle Falcons. Both of them 33 and 34 caps respectively for Team USA. Number 6, Hanko Hermesheis, who plays for the LA Guillotines. Great player. He's in the flanker spot. And this on Team USA. Along with him on the right side flanker is Moni Tangouna, who plays for NOLA Gold. Your number 8 spot, the most cap player currently with the Eagles, Cam Dolan, 58 caps. Looking for number 59 now with this game. Plays for NOLA Gold. Your scrum half is Ruben De Haas, who plays for Saracens. Number 10, the captain of the team, AJ McGinty, one of the well-known American international players, has had a long career with Sale Sharks, just recently moved to the Bristol Bears. He will be the fly half and your captain for this squad. Making his debut, the only player to make their debut as an Eagle in this game, Mitch Wilson for the New England Free Jacks. He is your left winger. Congratulations, Mitch Wilson. Bryce Campbell is your outside center at number 12 for the Austin Gilgronis. 39 caps under his name. And in the inside center spot, Tavita Lepetti for Seattle Seawolves. And then your right winger is Christian Dyer for the Houston SaberCats. And your fullback, Marcel Bracchi, 28 caps to his name for the Eagles, plays for the Austin Gilgronis. So it's nice to see, especially with the top 15, your starting 15, a lot of players from the MLR, which is kind of the way that things are supposed to work for Team USA. Now let's look on to our bench. Mikey Sosini Fiagi, who is the number 16 spot, is a hooker, plays for Agen. Then Chance Winsluski from Rugby New York, a prop. Joe Tafete plays for the LA Guillotines, is a hooker. 33 caps to Big Joe's name. Number 19 is CLC Mahoney, plays a lock for Houston SaberCats. Ben Bonasso, Rugby New York flanker. Nate Osberger, 31 caps on his name, is the backup scrum half, plays for the San Diego Legion. Paul Lisique, Utah, is their center. And then last but not least, in the number 23 spot, Luke Carty, backup fly half for the LA Guillotines. Interesting makeup, I feel, for this team. Granted, again, this is a warm-up game. It's not, there's nothing crucial on the line. It's an exhibition game, so it doesn't even count as a test match. So it's interesting to see the lineup that Gary Gold has put up. A lot of strong players, but the bench is interesting because really the only backup back is one player, Paul Lisique. So, you have a division of 5-3, and technically it's a scrum half and fly half. They're your other backs, but it's odd that there's only one center backup. So that technically means that your wingers. He's expecting a lot out of Mitch Wilson, who's debuting, and Bryce Campbell to do. I'm sorry, for Mitch Wilson and Christian Dyer to do a lot of work as your only wingers on the team. So kind of interesting how this kind of played out. Not out of the mindset to see Pulisic take a winger spot maybe if needed. But then again, he's only the only backup we have for centers as well. So a lot of work that Coach Gold is expecting of the backs on this team in this game. So that is the game. Again, it's still going to be an entertaining game. I feel it'll be fun to watch the French Barbarians play. And again, it'd just be a nice game to really get the Team USA, the cohesion, get them to play with each other. Because again, like I said, these players have played against each other. Some of them are teammates, but for the majority of the time, they've been played against each other in Major League Rugby or in international competition. This is the first time this season that they are getting a chance to play with each other. And again, it's a big setup for them the following week. Rugby World Cup qualifier against Chile. That's where there's a lot on the line. So we'll see how that turns out. So once again, this game is going down Friday, July 1st, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time kickoff. You can watch it on FloRugby. It's going to take place in Houston at the Avena Stadium. If you're in the Houston area, highly recommend buy tickets. It's the home of the Houston SaberCats. It is a beautiful, beautiful stadium. So if you get the chance, check it out. Root for Team USA. And I'm going to be watching at home. So, again, great game. Good luck, Team USA. Looking forward to this competition. So, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you on the pitch.